So yeah, so it turns out that it's my graphics card had nothing to do with that, but it also just happened to die today.
Just bad things happen, man.
I think maybe that's the world is trying to tell me you don't need these things right now.
Yeah.
Maybe. Stop being distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Some kind of,
karmic bullshit. Yeah, I don't believe in that
intervention of some kind. Welcome to Tanked Up, the podcast. Occasionally about beer and video games, but really just all about crazy computer setups and TVs that don't work and divine intervention. I'm Ben. I'm here with Lucy.
I need a divine intervention.
Just in life, generally.
If that's not a great name for a craft beer, I don't know what else it is.
There probably is already.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah. And obviously, that is Aadil Kurji.
Hey.
So this week, we're going to do what we do every week. We're going to drink some beers, talk about some games. Lucy.
Yeah.
What are you drinking first?
I'm drinking the one that I know Aadil has, and that's a Brett IPA from Wild Wave Brewing. That is the one you have, isn't it? I didn't check it once.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Oh, that's a government warning. Oh my.
There is flavor text.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Just,
here we go.
It's after the Korean and the ingredients.
Yes, it's an artisanal ale. It says a funky IPA fermented with Brettanomyces.
Re-fermented.
Re-fermented, sorry. Giving a nice twist on the style, with a dry finish that amplifies fruit flavours and even gives a perceived sweetness, along with light peppery spiciness. It's 6.5%, and yes, as Dale said, it's from Korea.
Nice. Is this the is this like what's known as South Korea? Was that what they call it? Is it the Korean Republic?
I don't know if it was North Korea or South Korea. I got the ferment
it's definitely
magazine
South Korea. You can't get chips from Korea.
Well, you can't, but I know with the because this is in the Beer 52 box, isn't it? And I know that they said, or there was a suggestion that there was a North Korean beer or a beer
that's what
brewed in a style of or something like that.
Let's have a look. Whilst I'm flicking through this, Aadil, why don't you explain what it looks like?
Explain what?
What the beer looks like. Yeah.
Oh, it looks amber. As you can see, it pours quite heady.
It's very clear.
It's very clear. It's if it was a little bit more straw colored, I would.
There's a flag of North Korea. So
there is, yeah.
I would think that it was more of a lager based on how bubbly it is and how just clear it is. But
on camera, for me, that looks very much like a lager.
Yeah, it's a little more golden amber honeyish than you normally see lagers. But yeah, obviously the camera tint and yellow lighting here makes it impossible to tell. But yeah, that. I would. Well, you definitely get the sourness on the nose. Slight citrusy sourness, maybe, but mostly just generic sour. I would have tasted it before, but as you can see, I've poured like garbage, and it's like I've got literally 3 fingers of head to wait through, and it's not. The head's not dissipating anytime soon.
I'm pretty sure they did go to North Korea as well. Whether the beers are from North Korea?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how they would have managed to import things from there.
Well, they know Kim Jong himself, don't they?
Maybe he's a subscriber.
Everywhere. Probably everybody is.
I'm going to see how was your pour, or have you?
I haven't poured it. I'm trying to use my new bottle opener.
What is that? Oh, is it like a click, twist, pull, or just click pull?
Oh, this looks dangerous.
It does.
Place it on the table.
Is the only way to deal with it? Is there like an eject button, or are you now stuck with figuring out how to get beer?
Locked in. Just got to get a sword to the neck of the bottle now. That's the only way you can do it.
For those of you not watching the video, it's like a metal
cylinder.
It looks vaguely cup shaped. Clearly, it engages on top of the bottle and grabs the cap.
I just have to press it down.
Oh, I was
okay.
just saying you click, right?
Yeah, that was the scariest thing I've ever done in my life.
It just shatters in your hand as you do it. Just goes everywhere.
Yeah, because I actually
And then you
collect
try and
bottle
complain,
caps,
like,
so...
what? The bottle's open.
Because I actually collect bottle caps and I like them.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Decent, yeah, in a decent.
Oh, you also got... Yeah, so it wasn't just
Yeah.
my shitty pour. It just is a heady pour.
Yeah, I like the head though. It's very nice looking.
And it's got some... It's very structured. Mine's now at 2 fingers.
Yeah, but as you're saying, I like the smell. Just like, yeah, it does smell very Bretty.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
not
it,
too
Lefty.
So it smells like, slightly Belgian yeasty kind of aroma.
While we
Like
wait for that to
estery,
go down, do you want to tell us about your beer, Ben? And then we can hopefully
I
have...
will. I cracked it. I am drinking from Duration. Everyone can see the lovely turtles on the can there. This is Turtles All the Way Down, American Pale, 5.5%. Where is the stuff? Okay, so the yeast is B.A.B.S House Ale Blend. The hops are Hallertau Magnum. That was one. Sorry, I don't know whether there's a comma in there or if it's Hallertau Magnum. Mosaic, Hallertau Blanc, and Columbus. The malts are Pilsner malt, flaked wheat, and wheat malt. There's some weird spacing going on this can with their words. Is it just wheat and malt? Is it flaked wheat? I don't know. Weird spacing. Anyway, Turtles All the Way Down has pronounced hops and a rounded body with soft bitterness. If the beer world is balanced on the back of a giant hop, what supports that hop? Why, it's hops all the way down, of course.
That's very philosophical.
Yes. Hoppy, I assume then. It is an American pale, so expect something light but with a good flavour, good nose, maybe a little bit dank.
I think an American
Also got
pale, I don't
Hallertau,
think they
is it?
use the term pale much. I think they call them buckets.
Hey. So, this beer, in terms of its colouring, it's super hazy, but it's very kind of light in colour. Even under the light, it's that kind of... It's got that little bit of that Daya sort of cloud water kind of creaminess to it. I'm not sure. When I saw these, there were about 2 or 3 different beers from Duration in the bottle shop, and I'm sure I've had a beer from them before, but I cannot recall what I have had at all. So whether I'm just suddenly, I'm seeing brewers and cans and things in bottle shops and thinking, oh yeah, I must have had one from them, and I haven't. Who knows now? I didn't check on taps or anything like that.
Yeah.
Smell wise, it's super juicy. Getting a lot of fruit off of there. Bit grapefruity, not quite sour, a little bit of sweetness maybe. I mean, the headers, there's barely anything on there at all.
It went straight away.
Yeah. But that's a lovely sweet, sort of juicy tropical fruit flavour on that. We'll see if the, with it being an American pale, whether that kind of is a little bit more delicate in the flavour or not. But while I take the old photo, do you kind of come back to you guys about your Korean beers?
I'm going to take a photo before I forget, but I can't because... Oh, there it is.
Yeah, because you've lost your phone.
Yeah.
Mine's AWOL too. Yeah.
Oh. It is less heady now.
Yes.
Bam. Okay, I'm going to...
I've had a taste.
Yeah.
Definitely getting those like estery banana flavours.
Oh, yeah.
In the taste as well as aroma.
Yeah.
Certain fruit. I'm trying to put my... Is it like papaya?
Ooh.
It's one of those like low, sort of creamy textured, low taste.
Pulpy like fruit.
Yeah.
Pulpy fleshy
We'll
like.
call on the banana.
Yeah, I think it's maybe slightly... Yeah, but you're definitely right. Those fleshy white fruits. Definitely one that I can't think of now. No.
The bread's actually...
It'll come to you.
The bread's actually a little understated in the taste, I thought.
Okay.
At least... So, I guess maybe it's because the nose is primarily it. That I was thinking it'd be more strong.
Yeah.
But I quite enjoy the sort of slightly more delicate taste.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I think the flavor's quite strong, but at the same time, it's not in your face. It's quite subtle. I don't know how that, it's a bit of a dichotomy. I don't know how that works.
I think maybe it's like a medium strength, but it's very simple. Like the structure of the taste is very simple, so it's the same taste sort of happening. So it comes through, even though overall it's not in your face.
Yeah, there's not really any bitterness at the end that distracts you from that initial taste.
It's a little drying out in the end. A little bit.
Okay.
Such that I'm
slightly, not in a bad way, but slightly kind of metallic at the end. So not in a bad way for me. I like it.
I do
too.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it the first Korean beer you've both had?
Me,
Correct,
yeah. Yeah, that's why I was so intrigued in this box.
Oh, yeah, that's why
I
didn't end up cancelling my subscription.
Good check.
And I had to fucking change my address.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, to get the box, you must have had to actually speak to them.
Yeah.
Or can you do that online?
You can do the address online. You just can't cancel shit.
I need to cancel on Friday.
I have
Friday.
I have 2,000 points to spend.
Me too, but I'm sure as soon as I signed up for this one-off box, they're like, "Oh, you have 4,000 points." Like, okay, that's probably from where I left it last time.
Right.
Yeah, but they don't let you spend all the points at once, which is a pain in the ass.
Oh, I didn't know that. How much can you spend?
Half, I think.
Worth.
Is it only £10 worth?
I think, yeah.
Or maybe I only had £20 worth. How much?
How much is? I don't even know how much a point is.
1,000 points is a tenner, I think.
Okay, so 1,000.
Yeah, seems right.
Yeah, about that.
Cool. And you have to pay post and packaging.
That's how they get you.
It is exactly how they get you. Yeah.
So
whilst we
Beer 52.
think about Beer 52, this duration turtles all the way down. It's very nice. It is juicy. It's got that grapefruitiness to it. The sweetness that's maybe coming off of the nose isn't quite there in the flavour. It's kind of pulled down a little bit, and it edges into this lovely bitterness that kind of rides quite high suddenly, kind of in the mid, and then with that sort of that juicier kind of grapefruity flavour, it kind of tapers off quite slowly. Which is nice. It's not sort of, not a big kind of bitterness, but it just sort of that bitterness does just kick in, and then just slowly fades quite nicely. It's quite dry, so I'm reaching quite a lot for it. Already my mouth is dried out, and I want some more. Wow. But that bitterness does stick around. The juiciness. It does stick around, but it's more the kind of the grapefruit that kind of sits there in the background along with that bitterness as well. But this is nice. This is very good. This is exactly what I wanted tonight, I think. Now I've tasted it. So I'm not sure whether that that grapefruit and kicking through is there, is those hops being pushed to make it an American pale rather than just say like a pale ale. It's that bitterness as well kind of pushes me kind of that way, that it could, if this flavour was just a little bit bigger, you could mistake it for an IPA. I mean, it's only 5.5, so you could mistake this for a session IPA as well.
Right.
But yeah, enjoying this. This is nice. This is going to go down very, very quickly.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Let all the beers go down quickly.
Hooray! Way. So let's drink these beers, and let's move on to our first segment for the week. Do either of you want to open up? I know, Aadil, your segment, as you shared a link for it, is a little more heavy, maybe, or at least it could get a little more heavy. So I'm wondering whether we save. Do you want to start with it, or do you want to save it?
Let's start with that one.
All right, let's start with you then, Aadil.
I was going to say I almost wanted to change my topic to God damn, I hate technology, because I'm having such a shitty week about it. But I suppose that's just going to be whinging about various things.
I could do it for the whinge. Can this be the whinge?
The whinge section.
Cast?
One whinge. I have nothing to whinge about. Yeah, I like to whinge because I'm big. It's my
You really have
right.
nothing to whinge about? Okay, well, I mean, then I won't whinge about this bizarre TV.
No,
and it's
whinge.
all right.
This is
So this
whinge
TV I got
cast.
refurbished, so it was cheaper. Is just weirdly broken in the weirdest ways. I showed Ben and Lucy right before we started that with the PC, regardless of which graphics card it came out of, as soon as you open the Windows settings, it goes into a permanent reboot loop until you Alt F4 and then thus closing Windows settings, and then it'll sit there fine. Played a couple games, that seems fine. Open Google Chrome, that crashes it once, and then it seems fine. I don't know what's going on, but it probably has to go back.
Just doesn't want you to change anything.
I know what's going on. Apple want you to buy an Apple TV.
But it's a PC plugged into it.
Yeah, so it wants you to do AirPlay across to the Apple TV.
Yeah, so Apple has somehow hacked my PC and TV. I see. Okay.
They know what they're doing.
Maybe they haven't even hacked. Maybe they're all just colluding.
I mean, but also, like, when I was trying to adjust the picture settings, it went natural cinema reboot loop.
How much would it be just to get like a Apple TV, like second-hand refurbished Apple TV?
What would that solve?
No, depends. Are you buying it through some kind of porn brokerage place, or are you?
And then you'd
AirPlay a monthly
AirPlay
payment plan.
You'd AirPlay from your Mac to your Apple TV.
But I want to use my PC, although I can't because while I was troubleshooting things, my graphics card shat the bed. As it turns out that years ago when I upgraded the graphics card, there was a piece of foam padding that I didn't notice that impinged on one of the two fans, which I bought the two-fan model because the previous graphics card had one fan and it was really loud. So I bought the two-fan model, and it was very quiet over the past 2 years. Unbeknownst to me, one of the two fans was never spinning, and so I don't. Yeah,
how the hell did it work?
It's probably just slowly cooked itself to death.
Yeah, it's obviously just
I don't know if it never spins, but like it was like goes while I was seated, and I was like, oh shit. So that's probably why it's dead. And I like had to do the whole take it out, reseat everything, plug it all back in. Nope, still not spinning. Luckily, the graphics card I lent Ben, he gave back to me when I moved because he helped me move. Plug that in, and of course it makes its whirring fan noise, but isn't detected by Windows, and so now I have to play is it detected by the BIOS, or is that dead? Does that mean my motherboard's dead? Is the whole computer a piece of garbage now game, which I haven't had to do in so long, and I forgot why people buy consoles.
Yes. Now you understand why I'm just a console noob.
The shitty thing is I thought when the graphics card died, I was like, cool, maybe the TV's okay. Even though it had that loop when its menu system, maybe that was just a compound thing. No.
Bad things happen in freeze.
Yeah.
Oh, what else is going to happen?
Just wait. Something awful's going to happen.
Something falls through the ceiling, crushing your TV, PC, PS4, all of your electronic equipment, everything.
And that's fine. Then I'll Skype in or Discord into these chats with no games. I haven't played games much anyway. Fuck it. If the world
You're not the only one. Games are stupid. Games are for babies.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Ubisoft because they're for babies.
Oh no. Yeah, let's do this. Done with it.
So anyway, technology is stupid and I hate it and it's a garbage. It's a garbage. That's right. It's a garbage.
Yep.
And I just wanted to. The Netflix app works fine. So I can watch Netflix on the TV. But this is what I was going to say. None of this would possibly happen if TVs stayed TVs.
Yeah.
Right. If this thing just took an input and put it on a goddamn screen, it wouldn't be blipping and blooping because it wouldn't have an OS that would wig out when a signal that it didn't expect got sent.
I used to have
clearly whenever something web pagey gets sent out of the HDMI, it blips something on the goddamn computer or on the TV.
Refresh rate maybe something like that. Like
it's got it, but like so Google flips it once, but like. The settings page does it all the time, but we know Windows settings is rendered by a web engine now. So that's why I thought I tried Google, and when it blipped, I assumed it would blip all the time, and it doesn't. And it's like, oh, whatever this is, it's not just like the TV. If it wasn't so quote unquote smart, even though I don't want that, it would have just worked.
Yeah, because I used to have a Samsung. It used to be perfect. It used to be everything that I wanted, and the screen, like, I think one of the LEDs like burnt out or something like that. I had to get a replacement. I had a Sony TV. Like the last 2 years, I can't stand it. It's like, why do you have to like initiate everything I turn? Like when I turn on the TV, it's like, why does it have to boot into?
Why does it have to boot?
Yes, it's not a phone or a computer.
It's like 5 to 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's like I just want to watch TV. Like
I have
someone from before 2015 when everything was just smart. It's like, for God's sake, I just want to watch TV.
Mate,
like,
you want to get down the
Netflix. My goddamn computer has Netflix. I don't need my TV to access Netflix by it on its own.
I've never used the smart features on my TV.
I mean, because Google was making it reboot, so it's like I want to watch something.
Firstly, what you need to do is get down the tip and find yourself an old CRT TV.
Yeah, I'd rather that. If I could get like a 50-inch CRT, I would.
Like on the whole way home, just massive fucking TV. So,
that probably weighs about 6 tons.
Like they do with washing machines, put a fucking concrete block in the bottom of it, so when it wobbles, it just stays.
They'd have to tear down my wall to put it on a crane to get it in my room.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So
you say this, but for some people, like my grandma's got a smart TV, and she watches Netflix all the time. But she doesn't have a PC or anything like that.
When it works,
it's convenient for some people, but I just want an analog TV.
I guess my problem is there's no way to just buy a goddamn display.
You don't have that choice anymore.
Yeah, unless you go commercial market stuff.
Yeah, you can buy a monitor.
That stuff is harder to find and never on sale and more expensive because you have to pay more for that.
Never get a Sony TV ever. Never get a Sony anything, even a T-shirt.
Yeah.
All the money's straight to Kazurai when I bought it.
I'm wearing the Last of Us T-shirt.
If I had I have an Acrosplat T-shirt from EGX, I think, is what I'm wearing.
And I'm wearing a Metroid hoodie, so
nice.
The thing is, if I had a HDMI switcher or like another thing, I would try that because I bet if I still had my Xbox and put the PC through the Xbox. Because it's going through, I bet whatever fucking update thing wouldn't blip it because the HDMI signal's being interpreted. But I don't have an Xbox. I sold it.
That's I actually really like the HDMI. The playthrough. Yeah. I actually really like that.
It worked really great for my Switch.
Yeah, use it for Switch. We use it for the PlayStation. Currently my SNES Classic is plugged into it. It's great. I really hope they have that on the next one, but I know which sucks.
You mean the Xbox 2X?
Yeah. I hope they call it the 2X. That's actually,
I think they should call it the 32X.
The Twix.
Someone will come up with some stupid name for it.
I bet they're gonna like get rid of the. They're gonna do what fucking Hitman and Tomb Raider did. They're just gonna call it the Xbox.
Yeah, soft reboot.
Yeah.
No, Tomb Raider didn't call it Tomb Raider unless
the first.
I don't know. Is it 2013?
Was it just Tomb Raider?
I think it was just Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. I can fact check that later at some point. Yeah. Maybe if we can be bothered.
It doesn't matter.
Also, this TV that doesn't work, it has Alexa, so there's that. Great. Or rather, if I plug it into the network with Alexa, Alexa will be able to. I wonder, if I could, I would get an Alexa if I could say, Alexa, stop the TV from rebooting.
That's good. And she instantly smokes out of the top where it just going against every
just burns
setting
the thing out like my
has.
graphics card. It's like, TV ain't rebooting. What do you want from me? That's my topic.
In summary, it seems to be that technology is stupid yet brilliant.
It is.
Well, the problem is sometimes not all the things need all the functions.
Yeah. Yeah. There is something to be said for simplicity.
And like I've hooked it up to the internet and I've looked for updates and they haven't updated the drivers or the software rather, and so it's like there's no way this thing can be fixed, which is different from a PC or a console which has a more ongoing support. The reason I got this cheap is because it's refurbished and a couple years old model. But that means if there isn't any more, if they don't have anything online like software wise, they're probably never going to do it. Like this is the problem with yearly models and this type of update cycle is the OS will have a whole bunch of different things from the 2018 to the 2017. So yeah, you're just fucked. If it doesn't work, then it's not the same as a computer or a phone or something that has a shelf life. That's a model shelf life versus
which TV was it that I had issues with? It wasn't. It was something like I think it was the one before. I think it was my LG.
Okay.
Ages ago, but yeah, there was something up with it. It's like these bloody forums because it's like, oh, we didn't do an update. Might have even been the same one. I don't know. Technology sucks.
Yeah, I've had my Toshiba TV for about 7 or 8 years now, and
good old
the only thing that's happened with it is the onboard speakers went. So I had to plug in.
You actually use your
system.
TV speakers.
Well, I used to until they blew out. Mate, people who can't afford to have surround sound systems. But then I had a 2.1 system on my PC. So when the TV, I took that from the PC, put it onto the TV because the headphone jack and the sound coming out of that worked fine, and that has been it's been quite nice.
I've had some of those speakers that just plug into the headphone jack, but way better than any TV speakers.
Yeah, but
no, this according to this box behind me, this thing has sound by Onkyo and X sound.
Oh,
so it must be good because it has an X. Yeah.
It's not Dolby Digital.
Previously sound. It's X sound.
X sound.
Yeah.
Just like an Xbox, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I just remembered something.
Oh,
I don't know if anyone watched. Was it The Apprentice this year?
No, I didn't.
They were basically selling. So this is such a tangent, but just remind me of it. They were basically selling. Well, there was this client, and they did like sound systems. They made like sound systems, and basically the task was to like, oh, they want their store decorated. You have to buy weird, artsy-fartsy, crappy stuff from their store for them to put in their store. And this guy, he was like a serial killer. He was so into like the sound bars that he made. And he was,
one of those.
I have to find you the clip because it's like he probably just wanted like dead bodies all over his wall because he's that kind of like Hannibal Lecter kind. He was like, no, just listen to the sound waves. It's like, oh god.
Ooh,
I would have got out of his shop. Yeah.
Just nailed dismembered hands everywhere. Like.
Yikes.
The guy at this shop straight away. Sorry for anyone who didn't watch The Apprentice, but it just
is that your delayed spoiler alert?
It's alright. We'll try and find a YouTube clip of it and we'll put it up in the post in the article for the podcast so people can see it as well.
I felt uncomfortable watching it. It's so weird. God.
Oh dear. Shall we talk about? I'm glad I opened up this episode saying we occasionally talk about video games. Shall we talk about Ubisoft and their...
Nah, let's go to a different topic.
Boo.
We'll loop around to my other topic if we have time.
Just take that as my topic. I have nothing to do.
Okay, fine. You haven't played a game?
I've been playing a game. Play some Hitman.
Did you bring your A game?
No. I'll speak about it next week.
Oh, okay.
Or I won't. Who knows?
What's your topic, Ben? This is. I mean, I think we're all just. It's just a week, man.
It has been. My topic kind of. It does lead in from kind of what I've been playing this week. But I kind of put everything else down to try and jump into the Call of Duty Blackout trial.
Oh yes, that ended.
Today. Yeah.
Christ. Oh,
did you take it as a tanked up task to be blackout when you blacked out?
No. The times I played were mostly lunch times, so I had to, work, or as yesterday, look after Evelyn for the afternoon. So I thought
that's part of work.
Probably probably the bad thing to do would be to get absolutely hammered and black out as I played.
I don't know about bad. But...
Responsible parenting sounds boring. Yeah.
It is boring, mate. It is boring. So there's a few things I kind of want to talk about around Blackout, and the first thing is that I actually although I'm shit, I'm completely fucking terrible. I actually enjoyed it.
Is this your first battle royale?
Yes, it is my first battle royale game.
It's COD BR, right?
Yes, yeah. And essentially, I think it's similar to a lot of the other ones. You're chucked into a map, and you've got nothing.
You're chucked into an island, I think.
I definitely peeked.
Well, that's what it usually is.
I was not expecting pause, map.
With 99 other people.
Sorry, I know you're new to video games, but we're a video game and beer podcast, so like generic terminology, you're gonna have to try, but you really have to catch up next week.
I'll try. All right. So you're dropped into a map, and you've got nothing. You've got absolutely nothing. So you have to pick up all your weapons, all your ammo, your armor. Yes, your fists. Yeah, you can run around and punch people. Combat? There is. So if you haven't got a weapon, you can just punch people. It takes a lot to actually defeat someone doing that. There's a Bowie knife as well, I think, but I don't know whether there's any other melee weapons. So the only two that I've kind of that I've seen. But
sounds like Call of Duty.
As with a lot of these,
you don't have to like go through a maze to find the Bowie knife.
The Hunger Games.
Bowie. No.
Some sort of labyrinth for those of you who missed the stupid joke. Yeah.
That's the one.
As with all of these battle royale modes, the circle gets smaller and it pushes you into a certain point on the map. And I don't know whether it is just the haste that I felt, that this circle constantly pushing me to one place on the map, that I never kind of.
So I thought of my first battle royale spirits, like shit.
I never kind of got to grips with it. I maybe played 15, 16 games. I maybe killed 10 people.
You played that many games? That's quite a few.
Yeah, because I died so quickly that I could just roll straight into the next one. On a lunchtime, I probably played 4 or 5 games. I maybe played for over about 4 days, maybe had about 4 sessions.
Did you just leave the match, or did you spectate at all?
So a couple of times I spectated. After I think maybe the second or third time of doing that, I got bored and realised that there was no point in me kind of doing that, because I then started playing with former Tanked Up member Alex Malpass, who has been playing Blackout since he got Call of Duty at Christmas, I think, or if not a little bit before. So he owns it already.
4 Eyes.
Yep. 4 Eyes.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I still hate it. That's not how numbers work.
No, there isn't. No.
So I started playing with him, and basically it changed the game a little bit for me, because I wasn't running around, not knowing the map, not knowing what I was doing, like headless chicken, exactly. I had someone to kind of guide me a little bit in what I was doing. And
so what I think, what is that?
It's a toy mouse, I think.
It's a screwdriver.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought, is that a screwdriver? Why is he?
He wants to play. He's ready. He's like, I've slept all day. I'm ready to go.
Sorry, this is maybe the only reason to actually tune in onto the YouTube or whatever, because I've literally just hijacked the podcast so that everyone could watch Cat play with screwdriver.
He loves it as well. He loves it.
Yeah, this is really great.
You'll get bored in 2 minutes.
Yeah. So as the cat continues, So it did change the game for me, playing with somebody else and kind of playing in duos, because it made it a lot more tactical, which was good. That's kind of what I wanted. But I'm just shit. I'm just shit at it.
Yeah, you wrote I really enjoyed your call about aging and being still wanting to play games.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it also kind of made me realise that maybe my reactions aren't quite as quick as they once were.
They're not, mate. They're not. I think they obviously aren't. But when I, play Black Ops every now and then, I know those maps like inside and out.
Yeah,
I like know where all the spawn points are, I know where all the choke points are, I know this and that. Even though when you look back at those games are kind of broken. Just in where people can spawn, how people can just flock to a place and just kill you over and over.
Completely.
Anyway,
not everything can be
spawn camping
balanced.
is a thing that COD games are particularly bad for.
But it's like I still kick ass at that game, and it's only the hardcore of the hardcore playing that now. Nobody who's I played Black Ops, I liked it, and then moves on to every other Call of Duty still playing that. So I'm playing with probably the best who still have access to that game, etc. Yeah. And I still, do
alright.
Yeah, still do alright.
I think you're lucky in that sense, because it came to backwards compatibility, didn't it? So you don't need to hook up an old console to continue playing.
Yeah. Even when we played Titanfall that one time, I was still.
Oh god, that was so much fun. And Lucy's really good at Titanfall.
I spent 300 hours playing it.
Yeah, and we had this one night, 2 years ago, where Lucy joined other out of livers on Titanfall 1, and it was Lucy just mopped the floor with everyone, and it's like, but why? You don't even play multiplayer games. She's like, I played this one a lot. Yeah. And then the next couple times we were playing, she's like, yeah, I don't care.
It's like, I think it's not even the fact that your reactions have slowed. I think you are getting older. I don't have this much time to, without any guilt, put so much time in this particular game.
Part of it is getting used to it's one, your reaction times might be slower, but also I think it's the new games have slightly different systems, and it takes a while to learn, and some of that's muscle memory, and that'll develop much quicker if you spend a few days, 10-hour days, etc. Right? And so it might not be just your physical being older, but your actual mental social. I think this probably has a larger impact on and also you probably just don't care as much that you
That's
are
very true.
doing
Yes,
as well.
I
so you're not
care
going to focus
much,
as much on oh, I definitely have to beat this guy because it's a one-on-one. You're I'm going to try and shoot this guy. Okay, I'll respawn.
Yeah. It's like you still find those
half
games
a bottle of whiskey down in playing a game of Battlefield 1 with your mates, and you're like, I don't care anymore, guys. Hypothetically,
I don't know. I've never
Ben doesn't know anything about any teammate doing that.
Battlefield 1, the one that came out just.
No, that's Battlefield
5. So Battlefield 5 came out in 2018. Battlefront 2 was 2017. So Battlefield 1 must have been 2016. So just over 2 years ago. Yeah.
The naming system.
Yeah. Long time listeners will know that we spoke about it for about 25 episodes.
Because it was the only game we were playing, but we played it almost every night.
Yeah.
Battlefield V
is the one that came out last winter.
Yes. Yeah. Not Five Eyes, just a V.
I will possibly play the single player of that when it comes to EA Access.
EA Access.
The single player for Battlefield 1 was good. I enjoyed it. It was
I didn't finish it, but I enjoyed the bits and bobs I tried.
I mean,
Battlefield 1. Yeah,
Battlefront.
And it was a good intro to the new systems and the weapons and those sorts of things. I enjoyed the single player for Battlefront 2 as well.
I never pinned on my Xbox to play that because I like pew pew. I will just skip over all the cutscenes. Just play the.
Why are they called cutscenes? They clearly weren't cut.
They are. They
used to be.
They're cut.
But they're specifically chosen and made for the game. Is it because it cuts to the scene from gameplay? Like I just was thinking about this last week, and I did bring it up because I thought it was too stupid. Now apparently I don't care. But why are they called cutscenes? Because like
they do cut these things. They do
edit.
Like
them.
is it because they're edited? Is that what it means? Like these are scenes?
I don't think it's because that.
But like, why are they called that?
Between gameplay.
Yeah, it cuts away from the gameplay. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it's because you cut to the scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, well, but you never know. But like, it's because I was listening to a movie podcast and they talked about the cut scenes, as in the deleted scenes.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, cut scenes. Oh, but cut scene. Ah, cut scene. And then I just sat there, but no one was around.
You didn't. Just questioned everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Aadil's there thinking, but no one's around to hear it.
Is anyone thinking? No, I'm not real people. I said purple.
Purple people.
So would you? So how long was the trial for?
So the trial was for a week.
Is it over?
I think it was last Thursday until today. So it was for a week. And this is kind of the other thing I wanted to talk about. That for a game that released 2 or 3 months ago, it's clever of them to suddenly go, okay, we're not in the media anymore. We may not be in people's minds anymore. Lots of other games are coming out. We've got a load of first-person shooters and kind of online shooters releasing over the next couple of months. Anthem, Metro, The Division 2 is coming out. So to try and gain back a little bit of mindshare, I think they've been very shrewd, very clever in kind of releasing this free week.
I mean, a lot of people have done this console generation. You've seen probably less demos this generation than last, but it's like, we've come out, trials, free weekends. Like so many Ubisoft games do that.
Yeah, they do.
It's like, we've seen sales taper off a bit. Stick instead of a curated demo, we'll just let everyone download the whole game for like 40 gigs, and try it out. So. Yeah, do it a lot. And it works a lot of the time.
It does work. I think it's very clever, and I have considered picking up the game. I mean, I think if Blackout had been an individual game mode, an individual purchase, I wouldn't have kind of hesitated, because I could have played a little bit more. I could have played with Alex a little bit more as well.
Like you're like, if it was like 10, 15 to $20 kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. If it was, I'd say if it was like 12, 15.
I imagine they'll spin it out for free, probably when they reveal the next Call of Duty.
Yeah,
when the peak from this dies off,
sort of around beginning of the summer, something like that.
Because they'll still charge for the next one, and they'll be like, but here's the other changes we made to Blackout. Everyone here, they'll follow you this way. Do you like Blackout? Yes, you do. Okay, why don't you buy it next time around?
Exactly. Try and draw more people in. Exactly, and that's kind of how I think they're taking it. And I know it's Activision Blizzard, and they've kind of been in the news a little bit lately of being a little bit sort of kind of underhand and not kind of like as consumer friendly as I suppose they would want to come across as. So
that's a good way of putting it. It's not that they're being bad, but they're it's not that they're actually bad. It's just they want to come off as bad.
Yeah,
they like me.
Oh, I missed that. You dropped out.
I missed it. You dropped out.
Yeah, so they like making money.
Well, yeah, that's true.
The nerve.
That's true. And they're gonna try and lead people into the next big purchase. You can probably go out now and buy Black Ops 4. At a reduced price. It was on sale.
It was on sale whilst the trial Blackout trial was ongoing.
Okay.
I think it was dropped to like
but again,
39
for the entire package. So for multiplayer, zombies, and for Blackouts. And I don't really want to play any of those other modes currently.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting way that these different kind of business models. The whole fucking, like, what is it, lifetime services or whatever the fuck they call them. The way that kind of Ubisoft have been trying to do, like Assassin's Creed, with all of these DLC kind of modes and trying to constantly update them with extra bits.
I think that's really cool. I mean, I will never play Assassin's Creed or let alone get around to the DLC, but you know, Hitman does that, and I praise Hitman all the time for that. So can't be throwing shade on Ubisoft. It's very good.
So it kind of, I can see, so as I can see kind of Activision Blizzard leaning into this a little bit, and maybe Blackout in 6 months' time does go free, but they then implement like Fortnite or something like that, like a battle pass kind of system, or at least maybe with the next release, it's a free mode with that kind of thing. Trying to keep people paying, like maybe. Yeah.
One of the things that Fortnite and PUBG has advantages, like the aesthetic is kooky, so buying kooky shit and different things is like clearly the way forward. That's why Epic has boatloads of cash. But like B.A.B.S is grey dinge black. Like people are just gonna.
It's not. I mean, a load of people are running around with like customized characters with.
Are they like so? Basically, the B.A.B.S part is sort of taken for granted.
A little bit, and I mean, like, so there's people, in like blue camouflage, red camo. You know, it's not even like blue, grey, urban kind of camo. It is bright blue, fucking
it's
like
not
outfits and stuff. So, and you can put on like capes and hoods and all this sort of.
So they are doing the generic thing.
Yeah, they've been doing that. It used to be, it's just like, oh, you just like recolor your like clan tag or something like that.
Yeah,
and, like, nobody would really see that apart from like in the lobby.
Yeah,
but then they started doing, you can put camo on your gun, you can make your gun golden or silver. And apparently now they do it for the characters themselves, even though it's.
But I don't know. I don't know whether that you can purchase those things or whether that is through unlocks, through levels and stuff.
I was just saying,
is it?
Yeah, one of the last Call of Duty games that I used to play, they used to like highlight, like you could see your character in like the end of the match. It's like, the person who got like the most kills was in the front. It's like, they get to do their emote and you know, show off their cool gear. And you would buy your
emotes to make cooler looking.
And I'd just be in the back with the least kills, with some shabby looking cargo pants
head
on.
Down.
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to dedicate my game like that, I would purposely stay default everything and just put, hey, you spent money on this, I'm at the front being default, fuck you.
And I'm better than everybody.
Everyone's very unassuming of the default character.
No one ever suspects Butterfly.
Shall we open another beer?
Yeah, sure. Beer? Yeah.
Beer.
I am going to crack this open because I know you two have. Are you sharing another the same beer again?
I don't know. Yeah. Did you grab this thing?
Which one was it? The one with the the cat?
Siamese
yes.
cat.
It's called Daydream.
Yeah, Daydream by Magpie Brewing. It's a tropical, silky, balanced beer, according to this. It is 4.5%, 22 IBUs. It has no other text.
It's wait, on the back here, where you'd usually see all the ingredients. It says silky and smooth, gauzy like a daytime reverie. Nice. Single hot with Azaka for a burst of tropical fruit flavors. Flaked oats make up 20% of the grain bill for a soft mouthfeel, easy drinking, and medium bodied with a clean finish. And there are the ingredients.
Right, and the ingredients are malted barley, flaked oats, hops, yeast, allergens, and bold.
And it was brewed at Brewery Proef in Belgium.
Yeah, so this is what I noticed when I was going over these, was that the other Magpies also said that, and I didn't know if that was like, I thought at first it was, this is just a European distributor, but it says brewed at. And then I'm like, well, what the fuck is a Korean brewery that's secretly a Belgian brewery?
Well, they might have originated in Korea, but they might have expanded. I've never heard of Magpie, but obviously, like sometimes, you know, like Stone, for example, American brewer, have a manufacturing plant over in Belgium. Who knows? I don't.
Berlin.
Berlin, yes. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it was odd because normally you see these things as like distributed from, etc., rather than.
Maybe they're a gypsy beer.
I mean, maybe
I'm on their website, and
maybe they've sent someone over to come and brew in a brewery because they can't export. Maybe this is the North Korean one. It's a North Korean brewer who's come over to brew a beer somewhere else.
No, so Magpie was started in 2011 by 4 friends in a quiet alley in Seoul, which is in South Korea.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. I won't read the whole thing. You can go to magpiebrewing.com/about, but it does seem like they are based in South Korea and they've moved a couple times. So I don't really understand what's going on with
probably
this.
just, as I say, distribution.
Or it's too hard to, like, it's too expensive to ship. Maybe they've made a deal with a local brewer to make.
Yeah, maybe they're like, we need extra revenue. Brew your beer here.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I say this, I'm on their website, and this particular beer doesn't exist on their list. It's not one of their core beers, and it's not one of their seasonal beers.
Doesn't exist.
So
maybe it's made
that they just lent their name to some, I don't know. This is
It probably says in the goddamn book that we have.
Look in the book.
Oh yeah, you look at the book.
While you're looking in the book and you're opening and pouring, I shall tell you about the beer I'm drinking, which is from the Wild Beer Company. It's B.A.B.S. B.A.B.S. B.A.B.S, mate. Barrel aged and blending and Imperial Stout. This is 11.3%.
Oh Jesus, man.
Yeah. Here at Wild, we have a penchant.
Jeez.
We have a penchant for dark beers. Add to this a love of barrel aging, blending, and the pursuit of taste and flavour. You have a very special beer. B.A.B.S is the epitome of this. Simply standing for barrel aged blended
Stout.
Oh, it's meant to say stout, but they've forgotten a T, so it says sout.
Stout.
Is it not a stout? Oh my god, it's a.
Yeah, I almost thought it was sour then. This blend of 4 stouts has been aged for over 12 months in 4 different barrel types, including single malt whiskey, bourbon, oloroso, and palo cortado sherry, and red wine barrels. As you would expect, it's delightfully rich, decadent beer that follows on from the lineage of Whiny Beast, our Pinot Noir barrel-aged Imperial Stout. Complex dark layers emerge from the aging and blending process that has seen the inclusion of 4 different Imperial Stouts, one of which adds a punchy 16% nuance. It has contributed depth, balance, and a satisfying boozy character to this blend. The combination is sublime, an amalgamation of 4 different beers across 10 unique barrels.
Well, that sounds complex.
It does, it does.
Don't you love the smell of a new?
Yes, the smell of a new magazine is good. Almost matched by a stout.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, it's kind of got a ready, or maybe that's just the light.
It might just be the light. I mean, it is.
Yeah, no, it's quite
completely black. Not much head to it at all. Very light. I mean, you're getting those kind of like sweet notes from it that I'd almost think it was a barley wine more than a stout.
Yeah, it does.
Why does your cat keep interrupting me? What's going on with fucking Dorian's tales?
He just went,
I don't even know what he was jumping at. He wasn't the driver. He just was like yelling and then went meow.
Probably a shadow.
All cats are fucking crazy. It's fine.
You keep talking. I'm gonna let him out. He seems to be.
That's good idea.
Yeah, there's belly in your head.
No, there's a. But what you do kind of run around the glass. Does kind of stay slightly just at the top.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's got this lovely sweetness to it that I kind of. It almost edges on barley wine, but it's definitely that kind of that bourbon, that whiskey kicking in as well in there. I can't remember. It said like red wine barrels as well, so maybe it's a little bit of that that's kind of coming through slightly. I mean, this nose is really nice, and there's a lot going on in there as well. It's not it's not big in terms of, I don't get it here. I didn't get it when I cracked the bottle. It is
right.
It's around here you start to get it, but it is a little bit reminiscent of kind of that vinous kind of red wine. It's got that bourbon, that slight sweetness to it as well that kind of kicks through. So I'm expecting when I drink
part
this
of the
to
sherry
just be...
barrels as well.
Yes, yeah, and sherry barrels, yeah. So I'm expecting to be absolutely assaulted by the flavour when I actually drink it. So we'll move on to you guys and the nose of what you're drinking.
It's really light.
Yeah, slightly lemony, limey.
I was going to say citrus, really light citrus.
Slightly piney.
Mmm.
Very slightly, though, yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Right at the end of the nose, there's just a little bit of that, that bitterness, that piney bitterness.
Yeah, it smells like a nice pine tree refresher that you put in your cup.
It's not that bad.
Oh, no. That's nice.
It's not as perfumey as that.
No. It just reminds
me. It's really light. I have to stress that.
Yeah. I've had to sniff it intensely.
Yeah. I could see your nose deep in the glass for a little while.
Yeah.
How does it taste?
Good.
It's also quite light.
Okay.
Very subtle flavors.
Given its like
taste of Korea, made in Melbourne.
Its claims of tropicalness. So I get the silky that it claimed. The tropical, only noticing sort of now that the finish is starting to fade, how much of it has a bit of a passion fruitiness because it's so light and delicate.
Yeah.
It was hard to tell immediately, but as everything else faded, I noticed that passion fruity smoothness. But
the reason I say it tastes of Korea, I've never been to Korea, but it reminds me of something that would really complement a really spicy. I shouldn't say Szechuan because that's China.
Yeah,
spicy
dish.
Just say dish. Yeah,
ramen, Japanese.
Yeah, I was gonna say
something from Asia. From Eastern Asia.
Oh no! We'll move on. So it's got that citrus. It's light. It's gonna be a little bit delicate.
So the citrus is not. Is there in the? It's not super strong in the taste.
No. It tastes a bit like lemongrass.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like
see, Korea.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like I said, on the finish you get this bit of a passion fruity vibe, but the finish is also quite quick. Again, I'm finding it a little
bit dill, lemongrass.
I'm getting a little bit of a dryness on the finish.
Okay.
It reminds me of beers that I've had with sriracha hops. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, good call. Yeah,
that lemongrass.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
delicate.
Yeah, when it says silky and smooth, it is silky. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
And it says gauzy like a daytime reverie. Yeah, I'll give it that as well.
Wait,
I don't know. But,
is this in the magic book?
No, it's on the can.
What? Oh, gauzy like a daytime reverie. I just don't know how to read. I just skipped the first line. Fuck it. Who needs that?
Yeah, I mean, it's... Yeah, I really like it, 4.5.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very, light, delicate, silky.
Yeah.
It's very light body. It's got a slight, smooth creaminess to it, so...
Yeah, I guess my only... I wish that the finish was a little longer, / that silkiness, that smoothness lasts a little more, and I think that, it's just sort of... The taste curves out quite quickly, and then it leaves me a little dry. And that, I guess, for me, silky and smooth, I think of longevity, and that's just not there. And I think that's just my personal preference.
I think silky and smooth. I was thinking heavier and stuff like that, but this is daytime reverie. It's just comes and goes. It's very light. Nice, it's very sinuous. But
from what you were saying earlier, Lucy, that is kind of what you want from a beer, that you're going to accompany a meal that is slightly hot. You want something that's just going to kind of take away from that very slightly, but then come back to it, but you know, a little bit lighter, so it kind of complements something that you're eating. So to have that kind of like that delicate nature, I don't know whether it's perhaps you know, both of the beers that you've had have been quite light. You know, especially the first one, it looked just like a lager, really. So whether that is kind of the beer that Korea kind of go towards a little bit more, perhaps, you know, not getting these heavy IPAs out of them. I don't know what's in the rest of the box, perhaps, but whether they're all going to be kind of like a similar sort of style, maybe.
Is the rest of the box actually has some stouty things.
Okay.
Like milkshake IPAs and like really like it seems very flavor forward things. And so one of the reasons I picked these two was because they kind of stood out because they were more standard sort of styles, and so I was curious what Korea did with the standard stuff before going into like the more extreme stuff. So I'm not sure all of them will last, but I'm definitely going to pick. Maybe Lucy and I, we can figure out 2 to save for next week. And then whatever happens in the midtime, that's fine. But I mean, I'm super curious because there are these like stronger looking beers, and when I say stronger, I don't mean alcohol wise. I mean like just more flavor forward ones. But given that these are super delicate, I'm curious what the stout and like even the milkshake IPA might taste like.
Yeah, but these, I'm really impressed. Like just even like the subtle flavors, you're getting so much out of like a table beer. It's like low percent, ABV, but packed with like tons of flavor, tons of fruit. It's like I'm really enjoying this one as well.
It's not a lot is going on, but it's doing it really well.
Yeah, I'd really love to know if there's like sriracha eggs.
Well, you can't check the website because this beer don't exist.
Ferment may tell you. Maybe Ferment may tell you. I don't know. Might not.
I was going to read this magazine. I haven't read it in like ages, but this is one I really want to read about.
Yeah. Normally goes straight to the recycling bin, and I kept this one.
I kept all of mine, but I got rid of them 2 weeks ago.
I got rid of mine.
I used to store them up. It's like, I'm going to read this one, but I didn't.
I kept the craft beer Bible book novel thing.
I've got this
because I figured at some point someone might be like, "How is beer made?" and I could just give them this book.
No idea. It's
read this.
There's kettles.
There's salads.
Only fish if you're cutting some corners.
Vessels are in there somewhere.
That's
all the V's, lots of V's.
Fermentation, some science.
Science.
I don't get it. Who knows that?
So there's a lot. So Wild Beer, tell us going on with this beer. I assume there's been lots of science involved, or lots of barrels, not so many B's, or not so many V's, or the B's. Jeez. I've only had like a tiny sip, but that's packing a punch of flavour. That's big. Getting that I think out of everything that's kind of kicking through, it's the sherry which kind of leads. That has that sweetness to it, and it kind of almost. I just have another one just to kind of get that sherry definitely leads, and it kind of sits at the back, but it kind of dries really quickly. The sherry is still there, giving it a slight alcohol-y kind of hint to it, but there's this smokiness that leads through as well. Whether that's the bourbon barrel
age,
or just the idea of with it being barrel aging, kind of that woodiness to it. This kind of smoky, kind of slightly kind of, it's not dank, it's quite light, it's quite delicate, that kind of flows through after that sweetness coming through. But it's very, very easy. That sherry kind of lead maybe into a little bit of dampened down maybe a little bit by the red wine. Just kind of, this is too easy to drink. It doesn't kind of, it's not a mouth kind of puckering kind of sherry taste to it. It sits very nice. It's very easy. and sits back in your mouth very easily for that smokiness, that very delicate nature that it's got to it to kind of come in and take over just a little bit. I know one of the other things I said was having a look. So it's a single malt whiskey bourbon, a sherry, and a red wine barrel. So there's a lot going on, and I think it's just that combination of everything which kind of just leads to this kind of big and then delicate kind of flavour. Why do you keep interrupting me with your cat?
Sorry. I literally went to put the bottle opener in a drawer and saw the laser pointer as the cat was yelling at the room.
No, he's occupied. Yeah, that's the thing with wild beers. You just never know what you're going to get with it. It's like
completely.
Quite a banger.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, wild kind of, even when you get a beer which you kind of think, well, I don't know, kind of, how this might go. It still kind of delivers. You may not particularly like what you're getting in terms of the flavour profile and things, but it delivers on what they have, whether it's what they set out to do, or at least it delivers on what it's telling you
that's
it's
true,
going
actually.
to do.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we packed a beer, it's like seaweed. It's a ghost. You may not like it, but it's what it says on the tin.
Yeah, we've made this beer, and it's a very, very good kind of, just shows that they're very good at brewing beer.
And they've been around for ages,
kind of getting what they want from it.
So they can put out that bold statement. It's like, look, we've been here for ages. Make this. You may not like it, but who cares? Who cares? We've been doing this for a long time.
We're going to keep making them, and people are going to keep buying them.
Yeah, because I'll always, now and then, be like, oh, what's that? I think I had a collab from them. It was Wild and somebody else. I'm sure I liked it. I can't. But yeah. Just never know if Wild, but yeah.
I mean, you don't. They're very experimental. They have a few of their core beers, stuff like Millionaire, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And just to pick something up, good. Kind of and this is kind of.
The stouts always seem to. I prefer more than their other stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd agree with that completely. So yeah, I mean, it looked super interesting, kind of from what it said on the back. So and it's turned out as a very well-made beer that's given me that's given me quite a lot from it. Whether this is kind of what I expected or not, it's kind of difficult to say because it's doing a lot. I don't think I ever expected it to kind of do as much as it is, perhaps. So I shall keep drinking, and I shall kind of see whether that sweet kind of sherry, leaves a little bit, and that smokiness, whether the whiskey kind of kicks in maybe a little bit more as I'm getting a little bit more accustomed to it. And it's not like the previous The Duration beer is kind of, I don't think that's really having any effect on this. Right. It's not the first beer was not a strong beer really. It was doing a big flavour, but it was kind of quite light. So I don't think it's really having an effect on this. So it'd be interesting to see what I'm getting from this kind of further down the line as well.
Yeah.
Right.
More drunk.
Yeah. Probably. What was it? 11%, 11 point something percent. 11.3%. There we go. Yes.
I know when they go up above like 9%, you never see them like go like anywhere out of like 0.5. Usually, I never see like a 13.3% beer.
Yeah,
it's like 9.5, 10, 10, 5, 11. I've never. That's wild for you though, isn't it?
Well, it is. And I don't know, like having never brewed a beer before, I don't know how easy it is for people to just be like, you get to something like you put your measuring tool in. I don't know how they fucking measure this stuff. You put your measuring tool
wilds, in. They like range so differently.
They do completely. But whether a lot of other people are kind of saying, oh, it's 10.46, so let's just call it 10.5. Maybe people are kind of rounding to the easiest kind of.
I think they always do, because wasn't there like a lawsuit? Big companies, it's like, oh, your beer is actually like 4.3 when it's like you just say it's 4.2 as a guide, or something. Can't remember.
Yeah, possibly, and dependent on what sort of size brew you are and your processes, different batches of the same beer may come out at slightly different percentages as well. So
yeah, that is true.
Yeah, unless you're
the more independent you are, the less likely you have that
consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're working on an as-batch basis, you might not want to go and get completely different labels reprinted just to say that it's 0.1% lower than the previous kind of batch. I would imagine maybe if you're edging higher and it's, you know, that you'll get into trouble if it says that it's 10% but actually it's 10.2, then you might start to get into issue. You may have to keep going above.
I think that was a controversy. It was someone big, like Carling or somebody. It was like, oh, your beer's not actually 4% or something. 0.5%, 3.9 or something. It's like, we say this because if, you know, depending on the batch, you could get high. We have rules and regulations to go by.
But I get my Carling at 4 because when I do the calculation, the 4% is cheaper than like the cider on the next shelf over.
And it means I can get
I know people,
20 packs worth.
That's what I mean. I know people who have done like
40p a fucking can.
Oh, I do like well, I don't do like by percentage, but I definitely do like, you know, in the sales one, I do like, oh, this is how many milliliters per pound.
Oh yeah, I mean, milliliters per pound is like just general. How much of drank am I getting? Not how much of drunk am I getting. There's a difference.
Yeah.
When you're like, I don't give a shit about taste or quality. I'm just saying, what's the lowest amount of pee I can get a serving of alcohol?
Yeah.
40. I think 40p is probably
40p.
Yeah.
It's weird when you say
Sainsbury's Saver white can.
What should I say? Is it because I say how many P's and that's not how you normally pen?
No, it's just like we'd say P.
What am I supposed to?
Yeah, but pence.
Oh, I'm not allowed the fucking short. I haven't earned that. Damn Brexit.
It sounds like you're talking about P. Like PP.
PP? Oh no.
I actually was talking about frozen peas. How many frozen peas can I trade for one alcohol serving? There's this weird pub.
Hundreds.
Yeah. I think very few. Even if I gave someone 1 million frozen peas, I'm pretty sure they'd still be like, go fuck off. I'm not giving you a serving of alcohol.
I just dumped the peas on the bar.
Yeah.
Come on.
This is worth at least 20 quid.
It was like that guy who
20 quid of frozen peas?
Bottle caps to buy Fallout.
Yes.
4.
And then he was
sorely probably regretted it, yeah. So I could have traded all those bottle caps in for like 20 pence and it would have been better than that game.
Oh man, Fallout 4 was a disappointing game.
It was disappointing, I don't even like...
Fallout 4? I've never played.
Yeah.
I played the intro and I was like, God, this looks like trash.
God, what was the guy... The ranger type guy with his fucking cowboy hat that's become a meme, and he's like, you have to go and look at another settlement over here. Oh look, there's another settlement over here that needs your help. Oh look, here's another settlement that needs your help. Just
from what I
constantly
understand,
fucking interrupting what you're doing in that game.
Ranger Joe.
From what I understand, Fallout 4 is a masterpiece when contrasted with Fallout 76. Also, you talk about like soft reboots. What kind of bullshit franchise skips 72 episodes? That's what I meant to say. Damn it. I ruined that joke by saying episodes. Okay, hold on. Ben, just cut this. What kind of franchise skips? Oh, I fucked up the math. I was 74. God damn it! This is no. My favorite Fallout was Fallout 69. Is that a better joke?
My best Fallout is Fallout Shelter. Hundreds of them.
I really enjoyed it. I played it a bunch on my phone.
Me
when
too.
I had an iPhone, and then I was like, maybe I'll go back. I was like, oh wait, I have an Android. None of that progress mattered.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, your settlement's fine now. You've reached the pretty much end game.
And then I was like, I'll put it on the Switch, and I was like, I don't want to start this game again.
Never launched it on the Switch, which is surprising.
I put it on the PlayStation, and because I think it was free.
It was, yeah. I got some achievements for it.
And I didn't get any. I didn't get anything for it.
It seems like one of the worst games to play on a television.
Yeah, I moved back to whatever
I think I played it on Did I play it on PC? Played it on PC.
Really?
Okay.
Xbox.
Wow, I played it on because it originally was a mobile game.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
it came to the Windows Store. So I think I played it on PC.
Oh yeah, that exists.
Or I like.
Did you know that
streaming
when you search for settings on your Windows 10 machine, it'll be like settings. It's an app. It's a Windows approved app. That's right. The settings on your computer is technically a separate app, which also may or may not reboot your television permanently.
I hate trying to uninstall apps on Windows 10. It's like it just won't allow you to do.
Yeah,
Really?
Won't allow you to do. Yeah, they're like.
I mean,
"No,
certain apps
sorry."
like Groove, Microsoft Groove, can't get rid of it.
You can't get rid of these things.
Maps, Microsoft Maps. Have you heard of Microsoft Maps?
Apps.
Even MapQuest is like, go fuck yourself,
Is
Microsoft
that
Maps.
Bing Maps?
No, it's not even Bing. It's not even Bing.
I don't
It's
know about
awful.
this.
People, I think, is also uninstallable.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
it's like when my Xbox app on Windows wasn't working. It's like, okay, let me try it, uninstall it, install it.
Can't.
You literally have to. It's easier to get into Fortnite than to uninstall apps on Windows 10. This really
They
is the
did-
whingy technology.
I know. They did something quite good with with.
Oh, by
Windows
the way,
7
the
and
name of the app
Windows
is Whingedows 10.
8. Yay! So they did something quite good with Windows 7 and 8, moving away from Vista and sort of
I never had 8.
with 10 they seem to have pushed a little bit back towards kind of what Vista was. I'm finding that I'll install something or I'll update something and I've got to do a hard reboot on my machine.
Yeah.
There
There was a lot of pushback on Windows 8, and then Windows
it didn't
10
have
was
the
like
window. It doesn't have
trying to
Windows
make
thing.
old school Windows stuff with Windows 8 work, and it's kind of
Yeah.
a shite compromise. I didn't like some of the stuff to do with Windows, but at least it was consistent.
But
yeah.
anything is better than Max OS, to be honest.
Right.
Both sides, and
So,
Mac.
I mean, what I like, so terminal is way better than command prompt. There's more
it's
things
like
you can do.
it's rock in a hard place. It's like, which poison should I drink? One
Which
that's just
poison?
gonna
I would
scar
rather
my
drink
eyes or
non-witch
scar my
poison.
wrist. I don't know.
Just boot everything to Linux, mate. Fuck it.
And play
Yeah,
no
and-
games
and-
ever.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna
that's
say,
true. Yeah, that's true. Some games, at least you can play Obra to make it look like it's
Oh,
on Linux, but that's.
oh,
you
I
know.
could probably play Oberdin on my Intel graphics card that still works on that PC.
It's where you
think
find
it
out
could work as
there's
well.
some absurd like background process in Obra that means you need the highest fucking PC possible to actually
No,
play
you
the
know
game.
what's... Oh, I thought you were going to say what ends up happening is it turns out Oberdin uses some sort of weird WebKit that causes my TV to reboot.
That's it. As soon as you open the book up, that's it. Just boom, gone.
I mean, I wouldn't care as much, except TVs are like big, and so like sending it back is such a pain in the ass.
How
and, like
how many inches is it?
49.
They make 49.
49?
inches.
Yeah,
Where did you get this TV?
Amazon.
You sure?
Yeah.
Not,
It was.
not space.
It's a 49-inch 4K HDR TV I got for 200 quid because it was refurbished.
That doesn't make
Oh,
sense.
now it makes sense why it's broken, right?
It should be 50. That extra inch, that extra bit of screen.
Just
Yeah.
stops that reboot.
It's,
That's it.
So it was certified refurbished, so it has a 1-year warranty. But I'm sure what's going to happen is they won't be able to fix it because it's a 2017 model.
That's so pretty recent.
So whatever's going on is probably never fixable. So they'll just give me my
Yeah,
money back, and I will
completely,
have wasted a lot of my.
Yeah, pick up a real
You'll find out.
TV
You'll
like
find out.
a
It's it'll be like a firmware issue.
Except I don't think they've bothered to upgrade the firmware. That's the problem.
Exactly. So they won't
Most
be able to
TV
deal with it.
companies don't. They're just like, oh, this is broken forever. Screw it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yes, you say that.
Because
I went
nobody
to
cares.
so over Christmas
Yeah.
I went home, and this isn't to put my mum on blast or anything like that, but when I went to see my mum over Christmas and stay there for a few days, and she was telling me, they've got Sky into the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They also
good place to put Sky.
Yeah. They also set up Netflix, but they weren't able to connect to it. They'd set it up, it was there, but they couldn't access it. They couldn't do anything with it. They could access things like iPlayer and stuff through Sky, but they couldn't do anything on the TV. I'm like, right, okay, this is odd. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Oh, you realise you haven't actually connected your TV to the internet, which it now needs for you to be able to run Netflix through the TV. And
why could they connect to iPlayer?
Because Sky was connected to the internet.
Because the iPlayer is just off the Sky box.
It's off the Sky. It's not off the telly.
The telly doesn't have an iPlayer app, is what you're saying.
They had a LAN cable into the Sky. Well, it's on whatever it's called, catch up or on demand or whatever Sky call it. You can go and it then takes you to iPlayer. So they had that one plugged in. They just hadn't set their settings, their wireless settings. They hadn't connected it to the router. So we went through that process. We set it all up. We got it all working for them. And we're going back to that idea of simplicity. That fucking hell, it took me, even someone who's kind of versed in this sort of stuff, it took me a good 10 minutes to go through and to put my code in, or put the Wi-Fi code in, and for the TV to then update itself with all of the firmware updates that it needed to then be able to access anything on the TV. Essentially, we are getting to a point where everything needs to be constantly connected to be able to do kind of anything.
The Internet of Things.
Yes.
Dark times.
It
tends to be really bright times because almost all of the things have screens.
Hey, depends what kind of screensavers. I don't have a screensaver anymore. My machine.
Oh yeah, so I didn't know how much
of
the TV would be in the based on the frame, and I was originally going to put if it wasn't such a pain in the ass, I was going to play something with a Winamp fucking visualization but muted. Nice. So it would just be like blah 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 blah. But then I realized that I'm basically blocking the entire. So it's actually I feel like the scale of the TV is better exemplified by the box that's beside it.
It is. Yes, it is.
I don't know why that is, because they should be the same size, but
maybe it looks exactly 49 inches.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think you'll find the box is about 53 inches. You've got 2 inches of polystyrene sort of either side, perhaps.
Yeah,
just to contain the TV during shipping. So yes.
Who makes a 49 inches?
Fuck knows. Toshiba, obviously.
2017.
Oh God.
I'm trying to think of what size my Toshiba TV is now. I think it's 40.
I think mine's
42?
I think it's no, I think it's 40.
Oh, 40 is a weird one.
Mine might be 50 or 50.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's 41. It's not, but I'm just going to say it is, just to throw it out there.
That's
Toshiba make weird-sized TVs.
The random number.
I did play a few rounds of Magic: The Gathering Arena on the TV, and I discovered that it's the difference of size between this and the old TV is that if I sit in front of it, I can't actually see the whole screen anymore. So now, in order to see the whole thing properly without having to turn my head, I'm going to have to be 2 feet back, which means I need something on my lap for the keyboard.
Yeah. Get yourself one of those dinner trays. You can just put on your lap and fucking, or just a bit of board, I suppose.
I mean, that's what I had, and I didn't move it with me. I had it in
my.
No, we did take it.
Oh, we didn't put it in the car. Oh.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
I thought we did.
Yeah. I also realized that I looked it up, and it turns out it's really hard I have to I'm gonna have to get an Uber to take the old TV to one of the recycling depots and pay them money to recycle, or leave it in a corner of my room.
You can pay the council to come and pick it up, but you got to pay them
much more money.
Yes, it probably
Just leave
is.
it in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can make some use of it.
Mate, you're a student.
0.9
You live in Montpellier. Just chuck it on the street.
Yeah.
Do what all the other
about
students do. Just throw it out your window. No one will give a shit. It will sit there for about 2.5
actually,
weeks.
to be honest, given that it's got the 2 damaged spots on the screen, and I live the street is that way, I should fucking set up a video and just throw it and just see what happens.
Yeah, and then
Make sure there's no cars or
That'll
pedestrians
have
or
at least
anything like
7
that.
likes.
overseas, yeah. And some burn pot. That's the way the world works.
So, like in Canada, the way it works is
God,
when you buy
I'm
any
good.
piece of electronics, you pay for the recycling up front.
Canada
use
sounds like a
carded-
sucky place.
So, I mean, also because everyone drives, it's not a big deal to cart it to the recycling depot,
No,
the
that's
e-cycling
smart.
place, and then
That's
it's
really
just whenever electronics you have, they assume you've paid the deposit, even if it's older than when the deposit scheme came. And they'll just e-cycle it for free. You just drop it off. They unload it from your car. That's fine. Here,
See,
I was
that's
like,
how
oh,
a responsible country.
yeah.
Well, I mean, here you don't have to pay to recycle it. You just dump it in the.
Well,
you take it to the tip.
Oh, you know, but you're
You
not.
don't have to
necessarily
pay.
illegal to take
Yeah,
a to the tip. You're
No, it's
allowed
not.
to take the tip.
No,
Yeah, I'm pretty
no,
sure. I
they
looked
have-
it up
No, that's not true. They have collection points.
for
You,
electronics.
you just give it
Yeah.
to a relative. That
They have collection points for electronics.
So I looked it up, and they said for a TV I'd have to pay at the collection.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what you do?
Maybe
You know
I
what-
dumped my
no,
old
no, no,
monitor.
no.
I dumped my
You
old
know-
monitor at the tip. I
You
didn't
take
pay
it
nothing.
to the Red Cross. That's what
You could, yes. Someone who doesn't want to
that's
use it as
free.
a PC monitor.
I mean,
That's
no,
right.
I meant the broken one, not the broken
Oh
one.
yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah.
still take that to the Red Cross.
The one that is broken in that it has 2 damaged points. But
They'll just use
donating-
the frame. They'll use the frame for puppet shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
To Oxfam.
Let's finish there for the week. It seems a good place for us to close out and talk about our favourite beers of the
What a strange
episode.
podcast.
I know, it's been weird this week, hasn't it? We haven't really
We're
talked
all-
about
we're
any
all
games.
weird.
I mean, it's definitely gonna have to be Whingedows 10 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Aadil
Definitely.
played Magic and you played Blackout.
Blackout for a bit, yeah.
And I will tell everyone to buy Piku Naked.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that.
Which I'm sure we'll talk about next week.
I started it today, but I've just not been in a good frame of mind to play such a light-hearted game. So I'll
Yeah,
probably
that's
play
fair.
it next week. Once
It's
I
fair.
just throw my life away.
Yeah.
Not care about it.
So, let's talk about the beers rather than dwelling on payment plans and monthly payments and refunds and things. Beers. Lucy and Aadil, you had 2 beers from,
South
I'm
Korea.
going to say South Korea, even though I don't think it's called South Korea officially.
The careers. The DK. Donkey Kong.
DK?
Democratic. No, DR. Democratic Republic.
Democratic
Republic of Korea?
Korea.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not DK.
Right, the Democratic Republic of
No,
Korea.
so
Good.
South Korea is the Republic
DK.
of Korea.
I thought it was just just the Republic of Korea, not like the
People's
People's Republic.
Republic.
That's
Yeah.
China. That's China.
Isn't there a democratic something?
No, the China's the People's Republic of China, I believe.
What's democratic?
Fucking everywhere's
so-
meant to be.
No.
Oh,
The DPRK is the bad Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
For any listeners in North Korea who aren't actually don't
Okay,
exist.
fuck off. If you decide to hear this in the DPRK and you don't understand, you have access to the Western world and everything. You don't understand why it's called your Korea the bad Korea.
They,
No,
they
all
don't
of
have
the
access.
splits. Like North Korea is the bad Korea. We just,
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think we're
I'm
offending
not
anyone
saying it's
saying
a
that, 'cause
terrible place. I'm
they're
just
not
saying
allowed to
if there
listen
was
to
a good one and a bad one.
What I've always wondered is whether Kim Jong Un inherited Kim Jong Il,'s DVD collection, because supposedly he had the largest DVD collection in the world.
Oh,
Did he?
probably.
Do you think,
Yeah,
he's,
he's probably-
do you think he's updated
he's
everything
moved-
to Blu-ray?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think he's moved to Blu-ray?
Exactly, just chucked it all out and went, I'll start again. And he bought some
No,
shit
I think
Sylvester Stallone or Steven Seagal film on fucking Blu-ray.
I mean,
one of their modern ones from the last 5 years. And done. It's like, yep, I'll start here.
Donkey Kong.
Beers from Korea. Aadil and Lucy. Aadil first. Oh,
you're gonna say both, aren't you, Lucy?
Ooh,
that's what I do.
Nope.
All right, Aadil then.
No, I'm waiting for Lucy now.
I'm gonna say both. Actually.
You've got the deciding vote, Aadil.
Yeah.
It's tough. So the reason why I was not surprised that Lucy was going to say both is because there's something about the nuanced, smooth simplicity of the Magpie that is just really rare.
Okay.
I think overall taste wise, I prefer the Brett IPA. It has sort of the tastes line up more with me. It's a little stronger in taste. It's got a little more dynamic. So like, if I was to like grab a beer again, I would probably reach for this one. But that's discounting like the very unique nature of the Magpie.
Okay, so you're going for the Brett IPA. I'll go for the Magpie.
So. Yeah, that's what I figured would happen. Yeah. But the reason why the Brett slightly edges the Magpie is because I think I would look for the Brett again more frequently. Yeah. And the Magpie, but the Magpie is just, so it's like, it's not a beer that I dislike. I really liked it. I liked its nuance. But what I really like about it is just that nuance. It's a type of beer you don't find very often. And I don't want to discount that, but it's also not the taste profile of the two that I would consistently seek out.
Okay. I think I prefer the Daydream from Magpie because that Brett was just like, not in a bad way, but it was one note. It's like, okay, got that, those Belgian yeast and that like kind of estery banana kind of flavour. Does that all the way through?
Yeah.
This one, as you say, it's very subtle. It's very unique in that way. It's like it's not a lot of flavors that I have had in beer a lot, like that lemongrass, that dill. Whereas Brett IPA, it's like, oh yeah, I've tasted those yeasts before,
for sure.
Commonly, like any Belgian beer that I've drank. Not that it's like generic in any way, shape, or form.
The tastes are familiar. The way it's done is actually quite, again, delicate as well. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's both Korean beers from Lucy and Aadil.
Yeah.
Good. For me this week,
you have to pick. You don't get the cop out.
I will pick. And it's not because one is better than the other. I think it's maybe because one stands out more than the other.
The duration. Is that secret code stands out stout.
Yeah, the duration. The turtles. What's it called? Turtles all the way down. Which is a very easy beer that I would drink again. I absolutely no doubt I would pick this beer up again. If I went out for a pint and I saw it, I would pick it. It was very good. It was just kind of the right level of juicy and bitter to be a light beer that I could kind of drink again and again. He's all tuckered out from his playing. But the wild beer, B.A.B.S. or B.A.B.S. It gives me a lot. It's giving me more as I drink it than it did in that initial kind of taste. And I'm getting, the sherry is still kind of there. It still kicks in with that little bit of sweetness. That's the first thing that you kind of get. But it leads into that red wine kind of flavor a little bit, because I'm getting that kind of like that dark kind of berry kind of flavor. It's obviously not been a spiced kind of wine. It's not it's not like a Chianti or something like that it's been aged in. It's maybe something more like a Pinot Noir or something like that it's a lot more kind of berry. It's a bit more fruity in that red wininess. It's kind of like a big hit of like berries that are kind of pushing through after that sweetness of the sherry kind of dies down a little bit, and then you are leading into a really that smokiness kind of, it unveiled itself a little more, maybe as an earthy kind of peatiness that I'm getting, maybe from the
whiskey,
the whiskey a little more. It's not it's not full on kind of peaty. It's very light still. That, as I said when I kind of first started, I think smoky is still the best way to kind of describe it. Right. The more you drink it, the more you can kind of get a little bit of earthiness from it, perhaps. And it's one that, even though it's dry, I've still got a little bit left. And yes, we've drank our second beers in a bit more of a shorter time than we gave our first, but it's kind of, I'm reaching for it because I want the flavour.
Yeah.
Not just because it's dry. I want to have a little bit more of this beer. And yes, it does remind me a little bit of kind of barley wines and that sort of that kind of style of beer, rather than an Imperial Stout. The alcohol is hidden very well. Maybe it's coming all through that kind of that sherry. Very similar kind of textures and flavors going on, and with that sweetness as well. So I think that they've just crafted something that kind of does a hell of a lot.
Right.
That unveils itself to you the more you drink it, and it just seems to get a little bit better as you drink it as well. And I kind of some of the time when we drink barley wines and stuff, I get through 330 ml and I'm done. I don't really fancy anymore.
They are quite heavy.
But
I totally understand that.
I would be so happy to have another one of these, or if they'd have put this out as a 500 ml,
right?
In a bigger bottle,
Jeez.
I'd have absolutely lapped that up. So I've enjoyed both beers very much. I just think the Wild maybe picks it this week because it's so well crafted.
Yeah, a lot going on, and they managed to balance all those things.
Yeah, completely. Exactly that. So, listener or viewer, if you wish to talk to us about the beers you've been drinking or the games you've been playing, you can do so in lots of different ways. We are at tankedup_cast over on Twitter. We're tankedup@gmail.com. If you would like to email us, go to outoflives.net and comment everywhere and anywywhere to talk to us.
That's not the best way to email us.
About whatever you like. What did I say?
It's just, I'm making fun of the way you paused. You said tankedupcast@gmail.com, big pause, and you said, if you'd like to email us, go to
is the 11.3% starting to kick through? I think it is, to be fair. My eyes have got a little bit more slitty than they usually are. I can already tell
just wanted to
by the
tweet
way
you?
I'm looking. If they wanted to tweet me, I am at Nova_47, NOVA_47. I'm the same on PSN or through Steam. If you want to play some games, I'm not playing Blackout anymore, the free trial's finished, but I might pick it up. If there's enough people that want to play with me, maybe we'll have a game. Who knows? Aadil, if people want to talk to you, how do they do so?
My phone number is not going to be shared. You can find me at the Omniarch, TheOMNRCH, on all of the things except Twitch, where I am _Omniarch. Also the Omniarch on Magic the Gathering Arena, but I don't even know if you can fucking add friends or any of that nonsense. If you end up playing me on that, that's me. Switch, message me on one of the other platforms for my Switch code. I occasionally turn it on. The one,
no, you don't.
I'm no longer on Xbox, but I am on Windows, so I still have an Xbox profile-y thing. The thing I was going to say, I just forgot.
That's right, we'll come back. I know what you were going to say. I'll come back to it.
Oh,
Lucy, if
Instagram.
people want to phone...
Instagram.
Yes, Instagram. That's yes.
Yeah,
I know what you were going to say.
We are posting pictures of our beers on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Stars are just
We are
us
tanked up.
What hot.
Constant.
Yeah.
We are tanked up cast on Instagram as well. Yeah.
Yes, we are. I knew you were going to come to it. That's what I assumed. Lucy, if people want to phone you, how do they do that?
I'm old, so don't do either pick up a phone dial like this. Everyone born after the year
pure
2000.
rotary, mate.
Yeah. Or carrier pigeon. Best way.
Yes.
That's an Alex Malpass favorite.
It is. If people want to talk to you on the internet, how do they do that?
Well, you start the dial-up, It's Juicy Loose on pretty much everything. Twitter, no, Juicy Loose 9. Sorry, Twitter.
Oh.
Forgot the
Juicy
9,
Loose has just had a bunch of invites, and she's like, "What the fuck is all of this?"
Everyone's
Do you know who Juicy Loose is on the other?
I'm sure that's me.
Oh, I was going to say, I assume she's naked all the time.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably added
on
us
Instagram,
on Instagram.
With
MS Paint adjustments on the nipples.
And a beer. So a beer like in the background, really out of shot.
Yeah.
Like, Instagram seems to be, hey, we're a beer Instagram thing, but the beer's over here and some woman is here in front of you.
Yeah,
Like,
carling cans on
going
the
on?
floor.
I just want to look at the beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juicy Loose 9 on Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, no, Twitter. That's and Untapped.
Untapped.
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost
All
said
those
tanked up because I got the UP names wrong.
Yeah. I think on Instagram you're beer resistible.
Oh,
yeah,
you are.
Probably haven't looked into it since February.
Oh, so for no one actually watching this on YouTube, Lucy has received her Night in the Woods figures that she spoke about weeks and weeks ago. That's very cool.
It's May, and I'm a trash mammal too.
If you didn't know, you could find us our videos of the podcast that you listen
on YouTube.
now on YouTube.com/Out of Lives Network, or just search Out of Lives Network on YouTube.
I think it might just be Out of Lives. We cannot confirm here nor there.
I think it's just Out of Lives, yeah.
It might just be Out of Lives.
Yeah. Video games are good.
But I think there's several Out of Lives, so you've got to look for the logo.
Out of Lives.
.net. Just go on there. And we posted.
Yeah, go to outoflives.net because the video is posted within the article that we posted about the podcast. Also, obviously, our podcasts are now on Spotify. They're on iTunes. They're on Pocket Cast. They may be on Zune. I don't know whether they are. But they are on your podcast service of choice. Oh.
Yeah.
We're somewhere in the Twitter's
we exist
YouTube,
somewhere in YouTube.
Sphere,
So
I think if you look,
just look for the views, more views than like Markiplier.
Yeah, more views, obviously. on your podcast service of choice, we exist. You're probably listening to us through whatever podcast app that you use.
And I only exist on this podcast. Outside of this, I'm not actually a real person.
We bring you into existence about 5 minutes before we start. And 5 minutes after, gone.
Yeah.
We're
I'm like that
that
Overwatch player who's not really a player. That was a social experiment. Do you not hear about that?
No.
No. It's depressing.
Save it for next week, Lucy. We need to build it up next week and then just drag it back down as we have done this episode. Yes, on your podcast service of choice, you can probably rate us. You can probably review us, and it would really help us if you did so. Expand the conversation and get more people to chat.
Also, chat with us.
Yes, and chat with us.
On all the aforementioned ways of contacting.
Let's talk about video games. We didn't talk about today.
Talk about all the games we haven't been playing.
I think I want to play Night in the Woods. Just to realise how much of a trash mammal like me I am. Yeah.
Yes.
I should play it first.
Yeah, you really should.
I am looking forward to...
Because you two are
now
trash
when I will be done
trash mammals.
my dissertation, and so...
Then you'll be a real trash mammal.
Yeah, I'll have nothing to do except like a couple seminars a week, and then it's just gonna be game.
Full on trash.
I'm
gonna be trash mammal with me. Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, I played 17,000 rounds of Minesweeper. Or at least I tried to do, but it turns out it uses a WebKit, and so it reboots.
It just reboots constantly. Oh, what a good place to finish.
Is a literally impossible game to play, anyway.
So
try
we've
it
been
and tell us. We've been tanked
up for one more week.
Oh! Just before you go,
Oh,
next week is going to be late. We've got a special episode next week.
Yes.
So it's going to release a little bit later, maybe the next day, maybe Saturday instead of your usual Friday. But look out for that, because it's going to be very, very special. We have a returning guest and possibly a new venue to go to. So, look forward and be excited for episode 150. But for this week...
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, next episode's 150. You already knew this because you see on your machine it says 149, but I fucking forgot.
I'm not looking at that. It's not on my machine.
Shut up. You're not who I'm talking to.
Bye.
Who are you talking to? 49 inches.
Ciao.
149 inches, baby.
Fair enough.
It has to be called 149 inches.
Yeah, now I don't know if the better... Oh, you know what it is? It's 149 inches of Whingedows. That's it. That's the title. Don't say 10, just say Whingedows. That's it. Bye.